what you see in the trailer is the film. I think with Kumararaja, my max number of takes was actually some 5. And I think that's the most difficult thing for an actor to just be on screen. Right now, I'm just up for a lot of challenges.
Hello Samantha and welcome to Film Companion. It's good to have you as a big star, but I think I should also refer to you as a bigger Instagram star. I mean, the talk is really about how you've upped your game on Instagram, and now it's, you know, everything is going viral beyond the wildest hopes and all that.
Really?
What is this?
Well, first of all, this is the first. I've not heard that I've become an Instagram star, but it's good because, well, there is effort that is put into my Instagram. You know, it's not effortless. It's interesting.
No casual shots.
Yeah, okay. But it's interesting because Instagram allows you to be creative and push your creativity, and you know, so I'm obsessed with like a theme and with the grid, and I don't know why, but I've just become obsessed with it. And so if you see my Instagram, not just in the pictures, if you see like it as a whole, you'll see as a grid, there'll be like 3 pictures together, 9 pictures. Yeah, it's a bit it's a bit OTT, I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's fantastic. But what I thought interesting was there was a picture that came out and was covered extensively of you and Naga Chaitanya at Central Park, and the caption there was something like not usually a fan of selfies,
yes,
but this had to be done. So I was curious about how somebody who's not a fan of selfies, you know, gets into a platform like this, which is all about, you know, putting oneself out there.
No, I think selfies is extremely unartistic, but pictures aren't. Like, pictures tell a story and pictures tell a mood, but selfies don't really say anything. And you know, with selfies, like wherever I am, it's not even they don't even ask anymore. It's just like in your face, and you know, and selfies always bring out my worst angles. I
This you have control.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So let's jump to Super Deluxe. You're not allowed to say anything about the movie.
See, I have got, like a child, you know, I have been schooled into what I can say and what I cannot say, but by my director. He forgot to mention that don't say that I told you not to say. So because he forgot to mention that, I'm going to be open and say Kumararaja told me not to say anything.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was schooled. Like, I got a volley of 15 messages saying, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't say this, you can't say that. So I was like, well, what can I say? Yeah, say nice things about me.
Okay, so what is the nice thing about him that you would say?
I would say, like, the nicest thing about him is the fact that I have a problem where I can't give more than 3 takes. I kind of I don't function. My mind has already wandered into the, you know, the next take or the next something else. It wanders very fast, and so like I give my best, and my most spontaneous takes are in the first 3, and usually it never goes more than 3 takes. But with Kumararaja, I really didn't mind going with, you know, the number of retakes that he asked for. Although he would say that he asked the least retakes with me, he would say that, but you know, because you know when that final take and when you see the monitor, you know that, oh my God, he's pushed you to a place that you wouldn't have thought, that, you know, like you wouldn't have, you know, when you prepare in your mind, I don't prepare much, but I sort of know what I'm going to do. And with him, he just, there's that extra bit of magic. So when you see these actors on screen, they've probably been in many films before, but the performance in this film will have this extra little edge, I think, whoever the actor is in this film. I think that he has, that's the best part. Like, I did not feel tired at any point of time. There was this brilliant filmmaker who was pushing me, and I was just willing to like really go the extra mile and do any number of takes, because what I saw in that final output, I knew what he was pushing me to do was different. And you know, when you've been in the industry for so long, it kind of I'm at this point where either I'm part of something, I'm not saying that like it's like blockbuster, it's going to break records, but I just want to be part of something different, part of roles that will challenge me, and this certainly challenged me, because the thing with this role was, usually from your subconscious you kind of dig and you deliver, right? So there was no part of my subconscious that had any remote understanding of this character that he had written, and I was not the first choice as well. Wow, I'm not bad. I can speak about a lot of things that that I'm allowed to speak about. I was not the first choice for this role, and he came to me after 2-3 other top actresses had said no to the role. So I'm really glad that he did. He came to me also not very sure because it is a bit not your usual heroine.
Yeah, we see you with a knife in a hand.
He told me he'll ask you about that. Don't say anything. Well, yeah, I guess Kumararaja liked making the film. He's also has he wants to unravel whether it's the promotions, also the film, in a very organic way, and I think that he has everything planned, and so what you see in the trailer is the film, and it's actually every shot is genius, and every shot was painstakingly long.
You said that actually that painstaking long, something we've heard from other people, like Mishkin talked about it, Ramakrishnan talked about it. They all had a story about, I did this number of takes. I did. What's your personal highest number?
Well, that's so I don't know what it was, but I think with Kumararaja, my max number of takes was actually some 5.
Oh, that's good.
I think I have the least. Well, because I think that we both understood the character exactly the same. So I think it was easy.
So you said that, when you looked at the monitor, finally you kind of discovered
you can ask me the same question about how many times did I dub a sentence the same. How many times did I?
How many times did you do that?
I cannot count. I slept on the dubbing floor. I woke up. I did the take. I slept back. I had breakfast, lunch, dinner, everywhere, every meal on the floor in the dubbing studio, because the man, even if it's it has to be perfect. So yeah, that took a while.
That took a while.
Yes, it took a
So
while.
you talked about the monitor and how you saw yourself on the monitor, and it was worth it. And especially after actors, after a while, without, even if you want to push yourself, you've smiled all the ways you can. You cried all the ways you can. Once you've been here for say 10 years or something like that. If I were to ask you to describe in one word or a few words the effect of what you felt when you saw yourself on that monitor, the difference from this versus the other roles that you've done, what would you say?
When I see other, like if I see roles that Alia plays or Kangana plays or Deepika plays, or it's always, it's such admiration and such appreciation for the level of talent and effort, and so with the films that that are up for release this year, I actually feel that this year would be the closest that I could ever come to like being still very, very, very far away from them. But it's a sense of satisfaction and a sense of okay, I can take this path, and I'm very proud, and I'm proud to be part of films that are going to be different.
I would disagree with you a bit there, because I thought you were spectacular in Needane in Punvasan.
Oh, thank you.
I thought that was a very, very difficult character and an unusual character for a romantic film, what was positioned as a romantic film. And I've often told Gautam about this, but I think that was something that That was really very...
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, but in my own head it wasn't.
Okay. So what did you feel was missing, in your estimation?
Well, for a very long time I feel that I was not very confident about who I am, and I was not confident about, I was very aware about how I looked on screen when I did some things, some expressions, how it translated on screen. Very insecure and kind of very cautious person. And you know, this industry, if you're not from the industry, or if you don't have, you know, connects to the industry, if you're this newcomer, you it's like a deer in headlights, you know. You're not sure, you have to find your way from scratch. There's nobody to tell you it's going to be okay, or there's nobody to tell you that it's fine, this is working, you're okay. You know, you just have to fall and get up and make mistakes and understand from your own experiences. So it took me a while for me to really not care about how I looked on screen, or when I was crying how I looked, when I was angry how I looked, and to actually just be. You know, it took me this. I wish that if I had to correct something, it would just be the fact that just be on screen. I think that's the most difficult thing for an actor, to just be on screen, not do anything, and just feel the character and feel who you are within, and let that translate instead of trying. So I think in the last 2 years that has been the big change that has come over me, and I think that translates in anything that I'm doing right now, whether it is my Instagram pictures, who I am, what I am outside. So I think that change, but unfortunately it's come very late.
For Super Deluxe, did you have to do any kind of preparation that was not, because you were talking about being, right? Does being require some kind of lots of homework, preparation? What did it involve to be in Super Deluxe?
Well, to be in Super Deluxe actually required a lot of confidence, you know, because you're playing something that's not conventional, and so it requires you to be extremely confident as a person outside, and extremely sorted with who you are, and not allow not believe that you would be judged, you know, but just have the faith in your director, and have the faith that people are going to see it as a role and are going to appreciate you for taking risks. So I think it required me to make sure that I was extremely confident to take on something like this. And when it came to playing the role, because it was something that, you know, because it gave me the freedom, because it's not like anyone I know.
Right.
It's not like anybody you know, really, honestly. It's not like anybody that anyone knows. So it also gave me that edge to be somebody so new. So I think that I'm glad that he liked what I got from what his narration was, and I think we were on the same page literally from the first shot.
So when in Super Deluxe you're part of an ensemble cast.
Yes.
Mahanati too, you're part of an ensemble cast. You mean this is apart from the films where you're playing the heroine, you do these films where you're one part of the whole film. Is this a way of ensuring the longevity of a career, the fact that you pick interesting roles rather than the big roles or the meaty roles?
I think I would be lying if I say that I am making all these calls extremely with a clear head and with a plan. I'm just being honest to myself, and honest to what I will I will enjoy playing, and really no other math involved. You know, so no other calculation. Just when a director comes to me and narrates a movie and narrates a role, and I see that spark in his eyes, and I see that conviction in his heart, then I am on board. And I felt the same in Nagashwin. In fact, the role that he gave me in Mahanati, I was the first person he narrated among the roles. I didn't even know at that point of time who was going to be Savitri Garu and who was going to play Mahanati. But I just said yes immediately. And the same thing with Kumararaja. I didn't think. I just said yes immediately. So I think right now I'm just up for a lot of challenges and up for not proving any point, not longevity, not anything. Just about discovering myself in every role I play and discover what is my true potential.
I had another math question, something about calculation in a good way. When you're playing the heroine in movies like Rangasthalam or Mersal, is it also to kind of say, it doesn't matter, so what, I'm married. If a married hero can get away playing with heroines, why can't me, a married heroine, do these roles once in a while? Is that part of the thinking process as well?
Yeah, well, the married, actually, honestly, when I decided to get married, I honestly assumed that it would be over with my film industry and over with my career. And I chose my marriage and my personal life above my career.
You were about to quit?
No, I assumed I wouldn't have been given a choice.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. When you're marrying Akkineni Kodalu, and so you just assume that it's over. And I remember telling this to Chay, and Chay was like, "No, you see, it's not going to happen." And I said, "Oh, please, you know the South Indian industry. There's no way." But it's something that I decided to do nevertheless, and I'm just extremely surprised and extremely happy that the kind of roles that are coming in and the kind of films that I'm a part of. I don't know, it feels really like a gift. And I really want to thank every director who's writing roles with me in mind, despite being married. Yeah, so I'm happy about this phenomenal change. I think it's completely, people have completely moved past Samantha is married tag, and I'm very, very happy about that.
But the thing is, when there was literally a very, very small kissing scene in Rangasthalam. It was barely a kiss. But there was so much of online reaction, and which might not have happened had you not been married.
Correct.
Is that only among the fan base, or is the industry also,
Absolutely not. The industry is really, really far ahead. Well, that, and then there's Majli, where the teaser has my husband kissing another girl who is not his wife.
Right. But it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. So people have to understand that Chay and me have an amazing relationship, an amazing friendship, amazing marriage, and there's a line between what is acting and what is real. And acting is acting. It does not mean that if it's, for me, a kiss is a hug, is a touch, is the same thing when you're acting. That's something that I really want to tell the fans, that it's the same rules. There should always be the same rules. It's the same thing. It's a huge, I'm married, he's married. How, the different rules are, can you see it? It's right in front of you.
Yeah. In an interview sometime back after your marriage, you were asked, you spoke about the timeline for a baby and things like that. Now, this kind of question is typically never put to a male star. Does it bother you that women are still, despite everywhere else in the film industry, at least, women are still, pegged down to things like, oh, you got to run a house, you've got to do this, you've got to do that.
But women have always been great at multitasking, and they can really do anything. So I think that it's not a horrible question, really. I enjoy multitasking. I enjoy the time I have at home, looking after things. So as long as those questions aren't wrong, as long as they are a choice, and that the woman chooses to do what if she chooses to look after her husband, if she chooses to look after the house, if she chooses to work, it just has to be about choice. And no question is wrong, no answer is right. It's just about, are you given the choice, and the same choices as men are. That's about it.
Okay. So, have the things that you look for in a role changed over the years? I'm not talking just about marriage, but like over the past few years. You started off with a very challenging role as Jessie in the Telugu AMHSAV, and that's as non-conventional role as something can get. But even otherwise, your choices have been, what has dictated your choice of roles? I mean, is it just what you said, which is, I look at the conviction with which the director narrates, or is that something personal as well that you put into your choice of roles?
I have noticed that, my, as a person, as a person, as I have been changing, so has been the roles that I have been choosing. And, well, initially as well, you are caught up in this number game, and you're caught up into the how many films do I have with big stars, and how many blockbusters do I have in a year, and that's the calculation, right? And suddenly you wake up and you realize, no, that's not what is giving me the high, right? And the highs are changing. So yes, of course, I've been a part of great blockbuster films with huge superstars, and I'm extremely proud of those films because those films brought me to this place of my life. So yes, I am proud of every film that I have been a part of, and the kind of people that I have worked with, because their kind of experiences and they mentored me in so many ways. The directors I have worked with, the heroes that I have worked with. So I think that everything is a culmination of who I have become.
At what point did that change happen? Like you said, initially that was a calculation, but slowly, do you know?
Initially, very early on, actually, I chose Iga over two very big commercial films that were paying me double. So I knew that I wanted to do films that made a difference, but I was also very scared, right? Like I said, the insecurities and the scare, and who's what am I doing a number of films? Like if I wasn't doing 4 films at a time, I would become very scared. I was like, oh my God, is my career over? But after some time, it switched to, it's okay. Now it's a one quality film that I really, really enjoy going to shoot for. Before it was about that Friday, right? Is it a hit or is it a flop? My career is made. But now it's about every day going to work. Am I having a blast? Am I really pushing myself? Am I being challenged? So it's no longer just about that Friday. It's about the everyday process of filmmaking that I'm enjoying.
So even the type of roles that you've been doing, the role that you cannot talk about in Aranya Kandam is one of them.
In Super Deluxe.
In Super Deluxe is one of them. So I think it's so much of a secret that I'm even forgetting the name of the movie. So, but your next, the forthcoming film of yours, Oh Baby, that also looks like a space that you haven't really explored, which is physical comedy.
Yes, physical comedy, and I would say that Oh Baby is my most difficult role as yet, and my most favorite role that I've ever done. I just had an amazing time. I didn't know that I would enjoy doing comedy so much, and just I've always been like, oh, am I going to call it a day without feeling that my complete potential, that that satisfaction of you watching a film where that you're really truly proud of. I think that Oh Baby is satiated a little bit of that greedy appetite in me. I'm very, very happy that I did comedy, something that I always wanted to do. Comedy, and it's just like it's a very, very beautiful, heart warming. It like really warms the your heart, but it's also told in a comic way. So I think that I'm very proud of that film, and I can't wait for it to release this summer.
Okay. In a film companion interview, you once said that acting is just a job. I just switch off after a point. When you're doing a really intense role like the one in Super Deluxe, does it become easy? Are some roles easier to switch off from than others? Do you end up carrying a bit of it home when it comes to really intense parts?
Thankfully, I'm not one of those actors as yet, because for me, like I said, like I give it my all in that one shot, and after that it's over. I disconnect immediately.
Okay.
But I really do. In that moment, I could be having the biggest like a disaster personally, but I can never ever bring that to the shot. I can never do that. So that has never ever happened to me. So I think that, but post 6 o'clock I disconnect. I'm no longer an actor. I'm just extremely normal, and that's the best relationship with Che, and that's the reason why we connect. It's because we are actors only as a 9 to 6 job. Yeah.
Okay. A journalist friend once told me that of all the actresses from Tamil Nadu who have come to Telugu cinema, you are the only one that's been instantly and unanimously accepted as one of their own, right from the beginning. I mean, have you felt this?
Yes, I have. I have, and I don't know why, but I think, yes, I think that the Telugu people really believe that probably I was born and brought up here. And I feel the same about them, like, you know, like I might have been born in Chennai, yes, but this industry gave me life, it gave me a home, you know. Things have not been easy for me up until EMI Chesavi. It has been a very difficult road, and I am extremely proud of where I am born, but I would say that I have 2 homes for sure.
All right. Thank you very much, and all the
Thank you.
best.
Thank you.
Thanks.